second important term in the Gibbs phase rule, that is number of components. Number of components denoted by symbol C. Now, what is number of component? These are nothing but the minimum number of chemically distinct independent species necessary to define the composition of each phase in the heterogeneous system. We call it as a number of components. Minimum number of chemically distinct independent species necessary to define phase in the system called as number of components. Or also, these are nothing but the smallest number of independent variables or constituents by which composition of the each phase can be expressed. We call it as a number of components. So remember this, it should be the minimum number of chemically distinct and independent species necessary to define each phase of the system. We call as a number of components. For example, suppose that we have a system in which ice is in contact with liquid water and which is also in contact with water vapor. This is the example of a triple point actually at which all these states are present, that ice, liquid water and water vapor. Now, how to calculate number of components? So we'll have to ask a question that what is the chemical constitution of that particular phase? So ice, the chemical constitution is H2O, water also exists as H2O, water vapor also exists as H2O. So the number of component in this system is same, and that is 1. So we call it as a one component system. While the number of phases are solid, liquid and gas, that is the system has 3 phases. While each phase exists as H2O, water also exists as H2O, water vapor also exists as H2O. So it has only one component, and hence we call it as a one component system. So remember, this is the example of one component system. Now we'll see another example, sulfur rhombic. When in equilibrium with sulfur monoclinic, which is in equilibrium with sulfur liquid. In case of this, sulfur liquid, again when heated, it exists as a sulfur vapor. So in case of this, the chemical composition of this system is also sulfur. This also exists as a sulfur. This also exists as a sulfur, and this also exists as a sulfur. So the component is only one, that is sulfur. Only it exists in different phases, in rhombic form, in monoclinic, in liquid and in vapor form. So there are 4 phases why this is exists in single component. So this is the example of the one component system. Now we see some more examples of the system where which we can calculate the number of components. Another example is decomposition of calcium carbonate. Decomposition of calcium carbonate. When this calcium carbonate is heated in closed container, closed vessel, it gives calcium oxide and also it will use CO2 gas. Now, if you see the phases in the system, CaCO3 solid state, calcium oxide in solid state, CO2 gas in gaseous phase. So this system has three phases, as two in the solid form and one in the gaseous form. But the composition of the each phase is different. Now how it is? So for the purpose, let us see phase and its composition. When we have a CaCO3, it exists CaCO3 and CaO. When we have a CaO, it also needs CaCO3 and calcium oxide. While when we have a CO2 phase, when we'll remove calcium oxide from CaCO3, we have a CO2. So at every composition, we need two constituents to define that particular phase, and hence in case of this, the number of components are two for this, and for this also. So this is two component system while phases are three. Now we'll see another example, that the decomposition of NH4Cl. Decomposition of ammonium chloride. When it is heated, we will get ammonia gas and HCl gas. Why? Ammonium chloride is in solid state. So if you see the number of phases, solid and gas is homogeneous, so gas is one phase and solid is another phase, so it has two phases. While component ammonium chloride, to define this we need NH4Cl, and to define this also we need NH4Cl, so it has only one component. So this is one component system with two phases. Now we'll see another example, that NaCl solution. Suppose that we have a NaCl solution. Now we try to find out the number of phases and number of components in the system. Now we have H2 and we have NaCl in it. So we have two different components. While all are in liquid phase, so phase is only one when solution is unsaturated. While components are two, and the components are NaCl and water. While phase is only one, and that phase is liquid. But when the same solution is saturated, in case of this, what will happen? Along with the liquid, few part of the salt get settled at the bottom, as it is a saturated solution. So when solution is saturated, we have a liquid phase as well as we have a solid. So phases are two. One is liquid and other one is solid. While components are also two, that is NaCl and water. So try to understand the difference here, that how to calculate the component in between this. Now the last example is mixture of gases. Suppose that we have mixture of gases like N2 gas, S2 gas, O2 gas, CO2 gas. All are in gaseous state. So phase is one. But components are 1, 2, 3 and 4. They have individual components. So there are total 4 components. So in this manner, we can calculate the number of phases and number of components of the system. Now we'll see how to calculate degree of freedom. degree of freedom represented by symbol capital F. This is also called as variance of the system. Now, what is the degree of freedom? These are nothing but the minimum number of independent variables like temperature, pressure, concentration, which must be fixed in order to define the system at equilibrium. We call it as degree of freedom. So, the minimum number of independent variables like temperature, pressure and concentration, which must be fixed in order to define the equilibrium of the system. We call it as degree of freedom. Now, if the value of degree of freedom is 0, then we say that system is non-variant. If F is equal to 1, it is called as monovariant or univariant. That is, only one variance is there. If it has 2 degree of freedom, then we call it as bivariant system, and if it has F value is 3, then we call it as trivariant system. That is, the number of variables, parameters which we can vary are 3 in case of this, in case of 2, and in case of this 1. Why we cannot vary a single parameter to define the system, we call as a non-variant system. Now we will take one example to understand the number of variables. Suppose that at triple point of water, means the point at which all these 3 states exist, that water exists in ice, also liquid water and water vapor. That particular point, temperature is 0.01 degrees Celsius and the pressure is 4.58 mm of mercury. So at that point we get ice as well as liquid water as well as water vapor, and if we vary any one of the parameter, then equilibrium gets disturbed. So such a system we call as non-variant type of the system. For example, let us consider this example, that ice in equilibrium with water, which is in equilibrium with water vapor. Ice in solid state, water in liquid state, and in gaseous state. Now in case of this, the phases are 3. And which are those? Solid, liquid and gas. What are the parameters to maintain this equilibrium? Temperature is 0.01 degrees Celsius and pressure is 4.58 mm of mercury. At this condition, this equilibrium is maintained. If we vary temperature, if we vary the pressure, equilibrium gets disturbed, and hence we do not have a freedom to vary temperature, pressure or composition, and hence this system we call as F is equal to 0, or the system is non-variant type of system, or the equilibrium is non-variant type of system, or we do not have no degree of freedom to maintain this equilibrium. So this is the example of non-variant type of system. Now we'll consider another example. Suppose that we have a ice cubes in contact with water. Ice in solid state, water in liquid state. Now these two are attended equilibrium. This is possible only when we keep temperature constant and fixed pressure. Either will vary temperature or will vary pressure. So to maintain this, either we'll have a constant temperature and will vary pressure, or we vary vary temperature and will make the pressure constant. So the number of variable is 1. So F is equal to 1, and the system is called as a univariant type of system. Same is the case of another example. Suppose that water is in contact with water vapor. Suppose that this is a closed vessel and these are the vapors, and this is liquid water, vapor in gases, and here they attended the equilibrium. We know that at particular temperature there is particular vapor pressure. If you increase the temperature, vapor pressure will increase and they will maintain the equilibrium in the system. So in case of this also, we have only one variable, either we vary pressure or will vary the temperature. Another example is ideal gas equation. So in case of this, F is equal to 1, that is only one variable. PV is equal to nRT, which is the famous equation. Now in this equation, we always keep one constant. Suppose if we keep temperature constant and we vary pressure and volume, or we keep pressure constant and we vary temperature and volume. So in this case, the number of variables or variance are 2, and hence the degree of freedom is 2 in this case. So many examples are there which can justify the variance in the system. Okay, we'll stop here.